the YouTube channel of EV Tech News and Motorindia. We have Mr. Samir Yajnik, CEO and Executive Director, ElectraEV. Samir, welcome to the show.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you. I just want to understand what exactly ElectraEV does. If you can take me through the journey,
Sure.
the short journey.
ElectraEV is a very interesting company. This company was made with a lot of love and care for the planet. Mr. Tata, what he said was that he really wanted to first experiment with all the elements of the EV powertrain on the Nano. And if applicable, he wanted to convert it into a company. So many years back, 8 years back, this experiment was successful, and we actually helped Tata Motors win the first large order, which was a Tigor EV business. We are not an OEM. We are a powertrain company that manufacture battery packs, manufacture powertrains, including gearboxes and all the control systems. That's the BMS, the the VCU, and in future also the motor controller. And we integrate everything together to make an efficient powertrain that we work with the OEM to help them introduce into the market.
Okay.
So it's a very unique space that we sit in.
Yeah. You have the entire ecosystem of an EV which goes inside the car.
Exactly.
So-
All the stuff that goes in.
Yes.
In an ICE, you have the engine and the fuel tank. You throw that out. You put all
You just
this
put
in,
all this.
and in a simplistic way.
So there could be some advantages, there could be some challenges since you make everything. Can you talk about the challenges and the advantages that you have while
See, the challenges were, I would say, mostly on the fact that this technology was new to us. Even battery technology, understanding cell, understanding motors has been for a while, but understanding the whole integration piece was difficult because it's not been used at scale. It's not that this technology is new, but at scale in Indian conditions, it was new. But that's very quickly we are getting to know. We've already delivered 20,000 vehicles and taken after sales. We also do after sales, by the way. So we do the servicing, and we understand what are the challenges that come in driving vehicles, not only four-wheelers, three-wheelers, buses, trucks, excavators, off-highway, and we're also getting into battery energy storage systems. But all those challenges are now, the data is with us, and we are now using that to improve our battery management system, put AI in it so that we can extend the life. So some of the challenges is that, look, things used to fail a lot earlier. Then the government came in with regulations. Then we learned more about battery technology. We learned more about how the integrated vehicle works. And therefore, by putting in AI, we hope to extend the life, give more personalized experience, as well as provide what we call the battery passport. That means the entire, traceability
from the
raw material through the aftermarket and into recycling.
Tata Technologies has launched in Europe.
Sure, yeah. I mean, the whole life cycle is managed through the battery management system. AI based makes it even better because it gives a more accurate.
So you gave me a lot of opportunity to ask more questions. One is on battery passport, which I'll come to. But before, which is relevant to this show, what are the initiatives you have taken from the standpoint of design for service, design for manufacturing?
Perfect.
Because
I would almost call it design for sustainability because this we are at the sustainability event today. My session, in fact, is on sustainability. So, if you look at it, we get involved right from benchmarking. So we work very closely with OEMs to provide alternative materials or alternative technologies in design that will help with not only the life but also the recyclability, right? And that's kind of happened in the last 3 years. Before that, it was like whatever you're getting, whatever can get you a cheap or fairly inexpensive outcome, we used to go with that. But now people are talking about the life, the end of life, etc. So we design for both flexibility because nothing has reached scale and design for sustainability, analyze for sustainability. How can we reduce the energy increase the energy efficiency, reduce the energy utilization of each and every element of the powertrain in the vehicle in the real life running conditions, so that once again anything saved is good for the environment, right? Because ultimately, you're using energy up. Then you get into manufacturing, and we're doing a whole host of things in manufacturing for sustainability, which is, you charge and discharge batteries for testing,
Cycle,
etc.
yeah.
But if you can reutilize that
Oh,
through
okay.
IGBT technology
Okay.
and pass it back to the grid, then you're coming out with that circularity. You're filling the
It's already
circularity
started?
equation. Already started. We're using it.
Okay.
We're using IGBT technology for passing back to the grid, every
okay.
time we are testing. So to build infrastructure which is sustainable is very important, right? So right from design to analysis to building prototypes to manufacturing to after sales, sustainability is the center of our focus.
Yeah,
And I've
now,
actually got a presentation on it later
okay.
today.
Let me come to AI part of it. So, how are you deploying AI or leveraging the capabilities of AI to enhance the performance of the battery?
Sure. So there are two, the answer is twofold. One is the entire use of the architecture of the hardware as well as the software that is used. The hardware is, we ensure that the semiconductors that are used, right, are such that one, they are inexpensive. Two, that even if something were to become obsolete, remember 3 years
Yeah,
back there was an
yeah.
issue, we would be able to replace it. Three, we are putting edge-based AI,
Okay.
unlike others who use the cloud.
That is software on chip.
Software on the chip, yes,
Yeah.
and AI on the chip, because computing power improves, the amount of time that it takes to compute and be able to give you a response is much faster. The cost is lesser because you're using the cloud, you're using more energy, you're using more greenhouse gas
Yeah,
emissions,
yeah,
etc.
yeah, yeah.
Most importantly, you are extending the life of the battery, because the state of health of the battery is a function of how it picks up data, how you're using it, and how can you therefore learn from that to improve the life of the overall battery. So we're using an edge-based model,
Okay.
and we're using the BOM substance of the chips which is such that it can be either replaced or it is inexpensive, and then that's used. So both from a cost perspective as well as from a recyclability perspective as well as from a overall sustainability perspective, it is effective.
Which are the vehicle
The other
segments?
thing is, of course, the second part of it is the passport.
Okay.
Right. Once you have traceability all the way through, whether you want to reuse the battery
Yeah.
and see how which cells can be reused or repurposed, or in fact which need to be recycled. And we got into BESS because there in future there will be a second life.
Correct.
The more and more you use solar or alternative forms of energy, more and more the grid has to be stabilized, and you'll need battery backup systems. So it's a whole repurposing of the battery where we got into BESS as well.
Yeah. Which are the segment of vehicles that you cater to?
Well, we started with the four-wheeler. We definitely are
That is the passenger
focusing
cars.
passenger cars. From there, we moved into goods vehicles, smaller ones like the ACV today
Yeah, yeah.
is entirely introduced by us. But then from there, we actually went both backwards, which is three-wheelers, and we went into buses and trucks, because these two are the focus areas of the government. Today, if you look at where maximum utilization of vehicles are going to be, it's in the three-wheeler, which is already looking at deep penetration, and buses and trucks. So we're looking at both these areas as the future. Of course, there's also tractors and
Whenever it comes.
tugboats and all that, but those are one-offs.
On us.
They're not that many. So I think the three-wheelers, along with some applications in SUV, and all the LCVs going into MNHCVs.
Yeah.
That's
So
going to be a big
LCVs, MNHCVs, whatever the commercial in the commercial vehicle segment, they are looking at TCO as their
Absolutely.
main.
And in
So
fact,
what
yeah.
initiatives have you taken to help them enhance the TCO so that
Very good question.
they can be loyal to your company?
In fact, I spoke that we don't only start from design, we start from benchmarking the market and saying that, look, these are the products that are available in the market. However, what if you, Mr. OEM, you can introduce a product, if you look at cost versus performance, you introduce a product around somewhere here where there's a gap, you'll actually come out with something which is automatically takes care of the TCO because the battery prices are coming down and there is nothing in that space and there's a lot of fuel being burnt in that segment.
yeah.
So benchmarking the market and seeing and identifying spaces where the OEM can work, and we've actually tested that with one of the large OEMs and they actually appreciated that and said, okay, we'll launch something in this space.
Good.
So anyway, that
Yeah,
it helps us being a integrator to be able to step back and look at the market and say, this is where we need to focus.